So just wanting to draw Doctor Strange. I have a friend whose favorite Marvel character is Doctor Strange, and I've never really drawn him. So figured I'd give it a shot and see how it looks. Right now, just kind of drawing a skeleton of the Doctor Strange. Putting a little bit more detail into the hands than I normally do at this point, just because he always has kind of that weird um, pose to them. So I'm kind of wanting to draw his arm folded up right here, so we're gonna lose some of the detail on the back end, but that's all right. Kind of want to draw him like on that quasi floating sort of thing where he's got like the one leg up and probably more like pointed down on the one leg and then starting to levitate, float off the ground on the other one. So I think I made his torso too small compared to his legs, so probably gonna start moving things around a little bit. I think I bumped the tripod there. Okay, but kind of drawing that line of action, the hip line there, and then again, I think I may have just recreated the same problem I had before, but I can extend out this leg a little bit more. So maybe I really only had the problem with the one leg. And then like his torso is going to be right here. And then leg's going to bunch out. Going to have the calf. This side's going to be a little bit more straight. I'm not as good at forced perspective as I would like, so this leg's probably going to end up being a little funny, but I'm okay with that for now. And then basically from that skeleton, I'm adding tubes. And then his arm, like I said, this front bit is going to be taking up, then this side. Make sure he's got a little bit of neck. A lot of this is going to be cape anyway, so. And hopefully I haven't already screwed up too badly. That's the thing I find with a lot of my sketches is they look bad before they look good. So hopefully anyway, he's got kind of that square haircut thing going on. What is it, like almost Dracula-ish, I guess, where it's swept back, and then he's got the gray sides. His ears probably back here, then kind of a pointed jaw. Nose would probably be about here, and it's more pointed than a lot of people I draw. I tend to draw really rounded features a lot of the time, probably because that's what I'm used to seeing in the mirror. We all kind of draw what we're used to seeing or what we've drawn before. Made that nose way too broad. So. Yeah, I'm not loving the nose, but so basically his nose is going to be like here, and then he's going to have an eye that goes back in here. I think I drew these areas a little dark. Anyway, he's going to be kind of squinting and looking down. The eyes went way too big for the face. And it was And then, like, he's got the mustache instead of an upper lip, really. Or the mustache covers the upper lip, if you'd prefer to say that. He's got that bit there. So he's going to have... that side of the face looks funny. No, that's better, yeah. Whoa! Drew in the pupil and it looks way off. Okay, so it's going to be smaller than that one because in theory it's a little bit further away from the front. So, but then his face is going to be cutting off. So it's that kind of that 3/4 view. So, and then it's going to be shaded. Has his eyebrow. And then, okay, so he's got his neck. I think his shoulders are too far below his neck, honestly. Easiest way to fix this, probably just move the arms up, but then his torso is super huge. So then his waist is going to be up here. Maybe that'll fix my leg problem. I think his head's actually too small for this body, but let's just keep going with it. Okay. And then he wears poofy clothes, so don't need to put too much definition into any of his muscles or anything. So poof, 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 poof. He's got the cowl and the Eye of Agamotto. And like I said, he's got kind of that big collar. If you want to go more comic book style, I think it's even bigger. The movies, it looks like they kind of toned it down, I think. I think it's actually 2 collars. So he would have this part of the robe go up. This part kind of covers the shoulders. And so this part would be kind of covering those problems I had there. Gonna show a little bit of neck. And then boom, boom, boom. So it would go kind of behind that hand. We can remove that part. Clean up those little goof sketch there. Then his shoulder. Okay, and then it's red cloak. I think maybe this part had a bit of trim on it. And this part's all red. And then the torso wise, like I said, he doesn't have a lot of definition or muscle, so it's not anything like that. Put a little belt on him. I think he's got that yellow sash like the that he got when he was studying with the Ancient One or whatever. Bum, 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 bum. Or does it just kind of go? How would a shirt go? Kind of like this. Maybe seeing some of that fabric behind. Like I said, kind of poofy, so not a ton of definition, so we're all right there. Rolled up sleeves a little bit below the wrist. Don't know if that makes it easier to do magic. And then if this leg's popping up, it would move up his tunic sort of thing. So move that up and then kind of let it drop down. And then what's the design on there? I think it's kind of like a Y, kind of like a kind of standard sorcerer type Y tunic thing. If not, it's my Doctor Strange, so that's how he looks. Not a huge fan of how the face is looking. Could be something to do with the hair. But Okay, so then it comes down to kind of there. So this hand would kind of go up, over, and then what do you do? Leaves the thumb out when he does it, right? Just kind of like Spidey. Okay, so what do you have? Pinky go up here and then have the two curled fingers down there. And so we'll just kind of mush everything together here. Looks like a big old mess, I'm sure. Okay. So, but then this pinky's coming out. So, and then these two fingers folding down. The thumb would be on the bottom based on where he's at. Never quite feel comfortable with the fingers until they're done, partly because you never know if you're drawing the hand backwards or not. Okay. Not huge fan, but hopefully the main draw isn't his fingers or his hand as much, but something definitely looks off a bit there. The one good thing I would say about digital art is that if you did screw any of these proportions up, you could just resize them on the computer. I just kind of have to either start completely over or wow, that's a terrible hand. Or just kind of work with what I have and try to fudge some of the details a little bit. So the palm of his hand would be here, and you got like that three little bump thing, like a pad from an animal. Got the thumb, hopefully not too big. And he's pointing out with the first finger, curls in the middle too. And then I suppose the pinky would stick out. There we go, something more like that. So it's a better hand, not sure the proportions are right. Not loving the way the shirt was looking, so let's pull it. His elbow down here a bit more. And then that's him in a nutshell. He would have boots. Don't remember if they're lace-up boots, but laces are one of those fiddly details that could probably really draw away from my character. So I'm going to leave laces off either way. Maybe draw in some wrinkle lines on his pants. Clean this up a little bit. Do want it to look like his knee's coming out, so maybe leave the knee in there with some of the wrinkles. So, okay. That's not the best looking boot, so maybe pull that down. Well, it's not the worst thing I've ever drawn. Let me grab. I'm going to grab some colors just to kind of give it a little bit of a pop. Okay. So, I mean, I know for sure Cloak's red, so we could do that one in there. Kind of bleeding into his hand a bit. Hopefully didn't lose the hand there. I don't think he wears gloves, so I may have just ruined that because that's way darker than a skin tone. And I'll come back in with line art. Might be able to save this by like putting some white over it and then coloring over it later. Boom, boom. I'll probably just leave the skin alone for now. Oh, he's got a big cloak. So I'm just gonna kind of hide most of it behind his body. But something like that. And this is technically more of a sketch than it is a refined piece. Didn't do it on my marker paper or anything, so don't want to bleed through on my sketchbook because I just, you know, use this to draw things in. I'm not going to be able to use the back of this page because it's going to have lots of color on it, but that's okay. All right, do I have a dark blue right here? Let's give it a shot. Worst case scenario, I could always put some gray over it. That's one of the nicer things about these kind of markers is that you can go back over it if you need to. I'm doing just a quick, simple swatch of the colors up here in the corner, just to kind of give me a feel for which ones I like best. I think this is a good one for the darker parts of his thing. Kind of feel like you'd have the whole Y in there. So this might make it too dark to really get any sort of definition though. So that may have all kind of screwed that part up. Meh. Just kind of a fun little sketch anyway. What's Bob Ross always say? No mistakes, just happy little accidents. So not sure I'll have enough contrast for his pants though. So I'm going to use the other dark blue here. Should have started with something lighter and then just worked my way darker. Now that it's too far gone. But like I said, it's just kind of a fun sketch, so nothing super serious. And then, okay, so this whole thing here, and then as it's drying, it looks like it's drying a little bit lighter, so I might be able just to emphasize some things with some line art here in a minute. Draw his collar nice and yellow. And this thing, ooh, it's all muddied up with the graphite. Fun, fun. So might not be able to see that as well. Can I still erase some of it out? Yeah, it looks like it'll still lift up through the marker some. But probably should have done that first. He's got the collar, boom, boom, boom. He's got this. So just kind of emphasizing those, even though I'm not done with the rest of everything. Might be able to scan this into the computer and just kind of clean it up in there if I decide I really love it, want to do more with it. Let me see. Let's do a really light blue for this part, make that stand out more. Kind of feel like that might be where it kind of folds in, maybe kind of like a robe. And let's give him just a yellow sash instead of like a belt with a buckle and everything. Just quick, fun sketch. I'm not worried about it, right? Just have to keep saying that so I don't freak out that it doesn't look perfect. All right. Then I'm looking for my gray marker to do his boots and maybe some detail. You can also shade with a purple. I think it's pretty common to do that. It doesn't really stand out with the blue, so skip that. Go and do the boots. Probably should have looked at more of a reference. Because now he looks kind of goofy. I think you could understand who he is based on this, but definitely feel like probably could have done a bit better. I'm just gonna do his whole head in gray, all his hair. I'm gonna use a white gel pen right in here to kind of give him those lighter gray highlights. Do I have my skin? I'm gonna pull a color out from my other set just to kind of do the skin real quick. So this would look a lot better if I had cleaned up the line art first and then, or cleaned up the sketch first and then go back through with the line art. I've been trying to do the line art second because I tend to be a little heavy-handed with the line art. So if the colors and everything are already there, it can also help me cover up some of the mistakes I make with with the colors and pencils and stuff. So like I said, this isn't as polished as I would want it to be if I was gonna do something more with it. So this is likely just a fun sketch for me. Well, and I guess for you, if you're watching. I'll post the final result on Instagram, but you can kind of see where he's going. I'll try to throw in some shading most likely, just because he's looking a little two-dimensional, pretty flat. But yeah, I mean, not bad for just a fun little quick sketch. And boop, 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 boop. Anyway, if you like watching me sketch these things, just give me a like and subscribe. Like I said yesterday, I'm going to try to do these more or less daily if I can. You know, subject to how quickly this whole thing's over and when I go back to real life where I don't have time to do this kind of thing. Should be able to do it more in the summer. In real life, but this isn't bad for now. So anyway, again, hope you guys enjoy this type of thing. You guys have a good one. I'll see you later.